Once upon a mountaintop, three little trees stood and talked of what they hoped to become when they grew up.
Just look at that night sky. The stars shine like jewels, and this is what I want to hold. Not stars, but treasure. I want to be covered in gold and filled with shining, rare, and precious stones. I will hold the biggest treasure in the world.
Do you hear that stream that sings as it's running down a mountain to the ocean? I want to be part of a ship, the strongest ship in the world. I will carry kings and important people across mighty waters of the ocean.
Do you see all the people down there in the town? I don't want to leave this place. I just want to grow big and strong and tall, so that every person who looks up will see me with my arms raised to God, and then they will raise their eyes to heaven and think of God.
Years flew by like minutes as the trees grew and grew. Rain came, snow came, and seasons passed. The trees grew strong and tall. One day woodcutters came to take the trees to the next phase of their life. The first tree went to a carpenter's shop.
I knew it. Now I will be part of a beautiful treasure chest and sold to an important king who will use me to hold the most precious jewels in the world. I can't wait.
But it was not to be. The carpenter made the first tree into an ordinary feed box, and it was placed in a barn. The second tree was taken to a shipyard.
Now is the time they will use me to build the biggest and strongest ship in the world. I'll carry kings across rough waters to distant lands. I can't wait.
But it was not to be. They made it into a simple fishing boat and sold it to a fisherman. The third tree was sold when it realized that they were going to cut it down too.
How can I help people to think of God if they do not leave me here to point the way? What will become of me?
The third tree was made into beams and left to sit in the lumber yard. Now, the trees were very far from each other, and they felt farther still from their dreams.
I wanted to be covered in gold and sparkling jewels, so they would use me to hold the most important treasures. Now I am covered in dust and mud, and hold hay for animals to eat. I will never be a treasure chest now.
I was going to sail the ocean, carrying kings on important missions. Now I'm a fishing boat. I'm too weak to sail the ocean. I'll never be able to carry kings now.
All I wanted was to stand straight and tall and true, pointing the way for others to look to God. Now I'm just a simple beam. I will never be able to remind people to think of God now.
Many days and nights passed as the trees settled into their new roles. They began to forget their dreams. Then, one clear night, someone new came into the barn where the first tree that was now a feed box stood.
Who is this lady, and why is she sleeping here? This is a place for animals, not people.
The tree soon understood why they were there, for the lady had a baby and placed it in the feeding box with fresh hay to soften it. Her husband looked at his wife and told her he wished he could make a cradle for their son.
Did she really just say that it was okay? She said I was perfect for this baby. She said I was meant to be here for him. This is no ordinary baby.
Suddenly, shepherds came and knelt at the feed box where the baby lay. They spoke of heaven and angels.
I am holding the greatest treasure in the world, after all, for this is the Son of God. My dream has come true, but not in the way I had planned. It's even better.
More than 30 years went by, and then one evening a tired man and his friends climbed into an old fishing boat that had once been the second tree. The tired man lay down and fell asleep as soon as he could, while the others began to sail the boat.
Who are these men? They don't appear to want fish. Look at the one in the back. He's fallen fast asleep. They aren't even here to enjoy a nice boat trip. Why are they here?
Although the weather had been calm and quiet, a storm began to grow. There was wind, thunder, lightning, and then the waves began to get bigger and bigger.
What am I going to do? I dreamed of being a strong ship, but I'm just a simple boat. There are so many people in me right now that I do not have the strength to get them across. We are going to sink and all of us will be lost.
The men on the boat began to panic. One went and woke up the one who had been sleeping. He calmly stood and stretched out his hand. Then he said one word, peace. The storm stopped in that moment, and all was calm again.
No one from this earth could have done what that man just did. He must be the King of Heaven. I dreamed of carrying kings where they needed to go, and now I've carried the King of Kings along his way. My dreams have come true better than the way I wanted them to.
A couple of years went by, and then one Thursday morning, the beams that had been the third tree awoke as they were pulled from the woodpile. The third tree grew more and more nervous as it was carried through the town, for there were many angry and shouting people, and some were throwing things.
This is the opposite of what I dreamed of doing. I planned to stand straight and tall so people would look up high and think of God. Now I'm being used to make others sad or angry. Even the man carrying me doesn't want to. I'm too heavy. He fell, and another had to come help him and lift me along. Where are we going?
They went to the top of a hill, and the beams that had been the third tree shuddered as they were tied together, and the man's hands and feet were nailed into her. It felt like it had done this to the man. He hung there on a cross of beams, and some who looked cried, but most were angry and glad to see this man up there.
I dreamed of standing up straight and tall and pointing the way to God. Now I'm standing straight and tall again, but most of the people here are not thinking of God. Now this man who is nailed to me is dead. Look at his friends crying as they take him down. This is the opposite of what I've dreamed to be.
The man was taken down, and 3 days passed. On Sunday morning, as the sun was coming up, the beams felt the earth tremble beneath her as a stone was rolled away from a tomb.
That man is alive again. No one but God could do something like this. Look at the love on his face. He has changed everything. Even death has now been conquered. I dreamed of standing straight and tall and pointing the way to God so that they would think of him. Those who used me thought to make something that was the opposite of that. But God has changed it now. When people think of me, they won't be able to stop from thinking of God. My dream has come true, but not as I planned. It's even better.
All three of the trees' dreams had come true in ways that were different than they had planned. It had been done in ways that made them even better. So, the next time you feel sad because you aren't doing what you planned or getting what you want, be still and take comfort knowing that God has something even better in store for you.
Romans 8:28 says, And
we know for those who love God, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to his purpose.
And Proverbs 16:9 says,
The heart of man plans his way, but the Lord establishes his steps.
And lastly, 1 Corinthians 2 verse 9 says,
But as it is written, what no eye has seen, nor ear heard, nor the heart of man imagined,
What God has prepared for those who love him. There are many more scriptures about God's plans for his people. Find and list at least 2 more, and then write about what you would like to do for God in the future. Record it where you can look at it again 10 years from now.